if somebody don't brush the teeth for a few days, everybody around them will know, but except that person. That was me. Theoretically, I knew what diabetes is, what to do, what medication works. But when it happened to me, my brain kind of froze. It's similar to when Ivan had anemia when he was born, and we used to get regular blood tests for him. He used to cry his eyes out, as you can imagine, 3, 6 months old, getting needles in. Until one of my technician mentioned it to me. Oh, have you got your amla cream? And I was like, I advise every single parent when the child goes for vaccination or anything, make sure you get amla cream from the doctor. When it's about my child, just brain didn't work, didn't think. Same thing happened to me. I knew what diabetes is, how it works, what to do, what not to do. Happened to me. I was just got scared. Trauma took over. Every knowledge just got wiped out straight away. Now, the truth about this picture, that's me a few years back. It may not look like me. Everybody says that, it doesn't look like anything to do with you, but that's me. The only reason I put this picture is just to show that I was overweight at that particular moment. As you can see, the necklace I'm wearing, and this is it, it's literally hanging. The amount of weight I've lost. I was 3 times bigger than I was there. The pictures don't do the justice there, but I was really big. Except the fact that I was overweight, there was no other problem. I was living very healthy. I was vegetarian. I hardly touched alcohol. In them days, I was alcohol literally nothing to zero, basically. And 7 days a week exercise, there was no negotiation. My wife always said to me, "You're too strict." But 7 days a week, constant exercise, still got diabetes. The main problem was, I think it was purely because of the nocebo effect, which I'm going to tell you about it in a bit. Many people believe things, bad things going to happen, it end up getting it. So that's just me. That's last year picture, and since then, my face still changed. It's more long, and there are techniques which I figured out I did, and it worked. So from face shape change from round to circular. You may know this, but you may have heard about cortisol hormone. So when somebody have excessive stress, our body produces excessive cortisol, a hormone, and that causes a round shape of our face. So that's what happened to me when I completely worked on my mental health, and many things changed, including the way I look. So I've done this pharmacist degree and numerous clinical diplomas, postgraduate, masters. I have a Facebook page, it's biggest in the world, 736,000 followers, and I have a YouTube channel named High Spirit Pharmacist, where I share holistic health, natural remedies. There's so many misinformation about supplements and natural remedies. I'm sure you all see on social media, try this, it worked for me. But the truth, actually, nobody tells that everything is safe, and everything can have a side effect if you don't know how to use it. For example, the most common one is apple cider vinegar. There's so much social media saying take apple cider vinegar, take chia seed, but nobody tells you that, if you have certain condition, for example, chia seed, if somebody has gastric issues, chia seed is actually going to do more harm than good. So misinformation, I try to debunk them, provide factual information on my channel. And I'm not telling you these certificates or achievement just to impress you. No, that's not the purpose. The only purpose is here for me to show you that the depth of research I have done to reverse my diabetes and many others. I have many people from America who follow me, and they follow the lifestyle I do that, and they have actually managed to reverse, many of them. As I mentioned, I was a pharmacist when I got diagnosed. I knew diabetes was a disease of sugar, so cut down all the sugar. This is what I thought. Diabetes is a disease of sugar. This is what the prescriptions give you, to reduce your sugar. And this is what the diet plan says, cut down on carbs, cut down on sugar. And this is what the blood tests are tracking. Has everybody, I believe, are type 2 diabetic or some trying to manage the sugar? So when you get your blood, this HbA1c they track. So that basically what HbA1c is better than the fasting. Few years back when I got diagnosed, the fasting blood sugar was the only method they used to check. HbA1c is slightly newer, where they check 3 months. So basically with the normal one, you can trick the system. So if you don't eat for 24 hours, your blood sugar will be normal. And then that's it. You think, you're cured. But HbA1c, what it does, it tracks your sugar level for past 3 months. How has your sugar been for past 3 months on an average? I thought, I can, just cut down on carbs, cut down on sugar, take sugar-free things, and I can manage it. Nothing was working. I was trying the best as you can imagine, literally cutting down everything possible. I was scared. There was no information. I went to the doctor, and I spoke to diabetic nurse, and she told me, gave me few leaflets, speak to these people, go to this company, follow this, cut down on this, do this, and do that. But there was no clear picture. Why do I need to do that? Do I have to completely avoid all carbs, or can I just mix it with that? Firstly, I don't blame them, because this literally they don't have time to go through, give people time, half an hour or 1 hour to explain. Secondly, there was no system in place about my family history or what emotionally I was going through. I was just a patient for them, and they were doing a brilliant job with that. Then I started doing my own researches, and when I dig deeper into it, the diabetes and how it happens, I found out diabetes is actually not a disease of sugar. It's completely factually wrong. It's a disease of insulin resistance. And I'm sure you may have heard about the term insulin resistance. It's a metabolic disorder. And now, simply put, what is insulin resistance? I put this picture just to show that. So imagine you're trying to call somebody, a friend or somebody or family member, or you're trying to knock on the door, but they don't answer. What you do is you increase the frequency. If somebody don't answer, you try again, then again, and then again. You do it for a few days, still don't answer. What you're going to do, you increase the frequency. You started calling every single hour. And then, half an hour, you knock on the door more often. They still don't open. That, simply put, is insulin resistance. So that's your insulin. Sorry, I have this one. The purpose of insulin is to take the glucose inside your cells. Glucose is the easiest form of sugar. If you eat pasta, porridge, chicken wings, or anything, our body just cannot use it. It has to be broken down by metabolism into the easiest form of sugar. And our cell can only use glucose as a source of energy. And the purpose of insulin is to take the glucose molecule inside the cell. And if cell don't answer, and that could be a number of reasons, our poor lifestyle, processed foods, too much stress, lack of sleep, it causes insulin resistance. Being overweight, it causes insulin resistance. Just cells don't open. And our insulin is knocking on the door fast. So what happens is, I don't know if you know or not, our body works on feedback mechanism. So if it is hot, we sweat for our body to evaporate the sweat, and we start to feel cool down. If we cold, we shiver, our bone kind of rub against each other, and we feel hot. Same thing happens. There is no glucose in the cell. Message goes to the brain. We need glucose. We need more insulin. Brain sends a message to the pancreas. Come on, release more insulin. Pancreas is working even harder than normal, so it's producing more insulin. But the cells are resistant. They're still not opening. So your blood has more insulin, more glucose. And that's the term we use is clinically insulin-resistant hyperglycemia. Just before your diabetes diagnosis, they call it insulin-resistance hyperglycemia. So you have more insulin in the blood and more glucose. And that excessive glucose obviously needs to go somewhere. Goes through the kidneys. Damage our kidneys if it stays high. Okay, and most of the medications, what they do, like metformin, or most common one is metformin they start on, or any other medication, they try to reduce the sugar. It's like similar situations to this one. You have a fire in the room, you open all the windows in the room, literally. You even blew the roof. The smoke is still gonna come until you put the fire off. Fire is still there. Insulin resistance is still there. No matter how many medications we take, if we don't target insulin resistance by making our cells more sensitive, resistance will be there, smoke will be there. Or in other words, if you want to plant flowers or fruits and want to make a beautiful garden, you buy the best seed available, and you put the seed, you put best fertilizer, you water it, do everything the best practice, you still don't see no growth. You think, the seeds may be bad. You go and buy another packet of seeds. Still nothing, one or two sprouts. You bought even better than the first one, better brand. Still nothing happens. That's kind of insulin resistance, because the problem is not the seed, problem is the soil. You haven't prepared the soil. So that's what happens with diabetes. When you have diabetes, so instead of working on insulin resistance, we just masking the symptoms. We're trying to reduce the sugar. We need to work on insulin resistance. The simple solution is making our cell insulin sensitive. If you can make sensitive, as I mentioned, diabetes is a metabolic disorder. If you can bring the order back of metabolism, diabetes can be eased. The good news is, which I strongly believe, and I'm the living evidence, our body is designed to heal. From the day we are born, the sole purpose of our body is to keep us alive. The baby is born, within few seconds they're born, they know how to eat, they know how to suck the breast, they know they need to feed themselves. They're not even aware, but they know their body needs it, because that's what body is designed to keep us alive. That's the only purpose of our body. You cut yourself, straight away healing starts. Platelet comes, try to seal the wound, healing happens. Even if somebody breaks the bone, there is no medication for the broken bones. You put the bone back in place, put the plaster around, body magically fixes the bones. That's body. Our body is designed to heal. So when you have high sugar, the common symptoms come is inflammation. That's inside our body fully inflamed. And when somebody get diagnosed with diabetes, the inflammatory markers are super high. If any of you, when you got first diagnosed, that's first thing they do. They check the inflammation inside your body. They check the liver markers. It's inside, it's inflamed. You feel exhausted. You just don't feel like doing anything. That's the first symptom people get it. And then cravings, no matter how much you eat, you want to eat more and more. The mechanism is simple, because brain tells that, I don't have energy, I don't have glucose. So more insulin, you want to eat more cravings. And this is normally what happens. If we fix the problem, instead of just masking the symptoms, diabetes can definitely be reversed. And when the excessive sugar happens, these are just the symptoms. Your body is technically telling you that, look, something is not right. Normally, we're supposed to have energy, we're supposed to be motivated. But when you have a problem, your body is sending you warning signs. Look, please calm down, slow down. Do things what I'm designed to do. Let me heal. The lies, the most common, and I'm absolutely guilty of that. As I mentioned, my dad died when he was 42. My brother and my sister, they're both older than me. They can literally eat cake for the breakfast. Never had diabetes. And I strongly believe that it's purely because they're not pharmacist or a doctor. And me, from the very young age into medical field, studying biology, constantly lived in the fear, learned a lot about genetics. When we study pharmacy, we learn a lot about genetics. And I knew it. Diabetes is a genetic disorder, and I strongly believed in it. Each part of my life, I believed in it. As I was the last person you would expect physically to have diabetes. I was fully clean, and yet I've got it. My siblings haven't, but I did. It's purely because I believe that I will get it. And that's the lie, in the textbook or, social media goes genetic diabetes. My dad had it, so I'll definitely get it. My mom had it, I will get it. That's a pure lie. And before that, I believed in it until I met a doctor, not a doctor practitioner, general practitioner. I met a doctor of genetics. I was in Birmingham to meet my friends, and there was a person, Dr. Harvey, and he's a doctor of genetics. So we're just talking about it, and he mentioned, do you know about epigenetic? And I was like, what's that? I don't know this word. Never heard it. Completely blank. I knew genetics, but what's this new term, epigenetic? Simply explain, epigenetic is this. So imagine this. Sorry. This is our great grandfather who, because of their lifestyle or processed foods, excessive stress, they caused diabetes. Then grandfather who followed exactly the same pattern what great grandfather was doing, they've got a diabetes, not here. That's the problem. Father started to believe that, well, grandfather had it, father had it, I will get it. This one here is us, me. If I want to believe that, I need to follow their story because my great is in our family tree. They had it, I will get it. Or I can remove myself from their story and start my own story for my generation. That's epigenetic basically. What simply put, epigenetics is your environmental factor, your mindset, your stress level, the what you believe about yourself or a thing or a situation can either turn on or turn off the switch of any genetic disease. That's epigenetic. When you believe that I will get it because of my genetics, it will happen. But if you believe that no, healing is possible, you can turn the switch off and start a new story. You can heal generational trauma. And that's not just philosophical things to do. Every neuroscientist, they say that you can heal a generational trauma if you believe you deserve healing. That's interesting. When I found it really interesting, when I was doing my researches about sugar, I literally become an obsessed scientist. Every single thing I was putting in my mouth, I was keeping a record. I've got a diary. I forgot it. I think it's in that bag, the black bag. I've got it there. Every single snack, every single thing, even my water intake, I was writing down how much water I drink. My fingers used to hurt. The new Libra test strips or continuous glucose meter. Normally, people with insulin they get it, so they constantly monitor the sugar. My time it didn't exist. I was constantly 6 times a day. I was pricking my fingers. Literally, I became so obsessed with it. I remember in December it was freezing cold weather. My fingers were so painful, and I had to use my toe to get the blood. I was obsessed, absolutely. And I started doing researches. I loved my spicy and savory food because I completely stopped eating sweets. Sweets was completely out the window at that. That's it. Now I do, and what I do, I'll tell you that as well in a bit. But I used to eat my savory and spicy food, and I started looking into that. Why? So this is the picture. I've got it from, I went to Sainsbury's in Solbon the other day and I took pictures of these. These are all savory or spicy. This is Pringles barbecue chicken, as you can see. This is Doritos. This is Took. So all of them, this is even worse, as you can see. I don't know if you can see, they add glucose syrup in it. As I mentioned, glucose is the easiest form of sugar your body can utilize it. So that goes straight. If somebody takes insulin and they have low blood sugar, this is what they say: have a source of sugar, not the anything else, not the carb, pure sugar, pure glucose, because that's the easiest form your body can take. They add glucose syrup in it. And that's why once you open a Took or any crisp, you want to eat more. You start and you just don't want to stop it, because it's sugar in this particular century is not about the taste anymore. It's about the control. Where here I mean by that, when I say control, sugar obviously is sweetened food. In cakes and cookies, it makes sense to have sugar. It's meant to be. But in spicy and savory food, why do they still add the sugar? You can't even taste the sugar, but they still add it. Because you can't taste it, but behind the scene, your body is still tasting the sugar. You don't taste it, but your body feel that, oh, there is sugar in it. I want more. Dopamine hit. That's what sugar does. It messes up with your brain. And dopamine hit is like, any of you uses TikTok or Instagram? You scroll one video, you say, oh, last one. You don't even know it's already half an hour. Scrolling, your brain constantly wants dopamine. Anybody played, a few months ago, I got addicted to that lottery thing, BOTB. Anybody aware of that? Yeah, okay, it's a lottery thing. You pay 99 pence and you win cars and stuff. Constantly, people once they win one, you get more and more. That's dopamine. That sugar does to your body. So when you put it in it, you want more. You want more. Whether it's a sweet thing or now savory thing. All these. And I invite you to pick any savory or any spicy food from the supermarket. You will see they purposely add a little bit of sugar in it. Not for the taste, because spicy food is spicy, it's not sweet. They add it for your body to crave more, for them to have more sales, and obviously pharmaceutical companies to have more patients, more clients. You may have seen a surge of weight loss injections recently. There is a reason, all kind of working alongside together. Now that's a really interesting one. When after first year of my heavy researches, I managed to brought my HbA1c down to 43. And I received a message from my diabetic nurse that good news, your diabetes results have come normal. You are in remission. And they booked me an appointment for my feet and annual eye check. And in all honesty, I did not know the meaning of remission. I heard it and I felt happy about it. It must be good. They said, your blood sugar have come good, so it must be good. So, but on the face, I said, oh, brilliant, all good. Came home, Googled it. What does remission mean? A temporary diminution of severity of disease. Straight away, all the motivation gone out the window. Well, that's just a temporary one. I haven't done anything. If things, I can always get it back. And I was living again in the fear. And I understood the psychology behind it, power of words, what we tell ourselves, what we become. And if you heard somebody saying that, oh, medications don't agree with me, or last week I had an interesting conversation with somebody. She was trying to lose her weight. She was from America, and she said, I've tried Wegovy injection. I'm doing Ozempic now. I've tried keto diet. I've tried Slimming World. No matter what I do, it's just not sufficient. The weight is not shifting. And I don't know what to do. And I say to everybody that even if I look at food, I gain weight. And I said, that's the problem. You constantly telling your brain that, even if I look at food, I gain weight. Guess what? Your body follows mind over matter. You must have heard that term. What we believe we become. Like Bruce Lee said, words have power. That's why, and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. So you got to be careful about the words we choose about ourselves consciously and subconsciously, what we believe. If you're gonna joke about, things, don't believe in it. Joke it for the sake of joking. But if you're gonna believe in it, like the daddy believe in it, we see that. And that's why when she told me remission, I straight away went back, and my HbA1c that year, nothing changed. I was still living healthy and clean. And my HbA1c raised to 48 from 43. Instead of going down, he went up 48. And that was the problem. Then I started to dig deeper. Why only in England they use the word remission, nowhere else in the world? In America, they call it reversal. Because at that particular moment, they reversed it. If I am here and I go back, at this current moment, I'm reversed, reversing the car. You reversed at that particular moment. If you're gonna go down the same route, of course, it's with everything. I cut myself today, it's gonna heal. At that particular moment, I have reversed my wound. I'm not gonna say I remission it if I'm still gonna hold my knife. If I'm gonna still follow the same unhealthy lifestyle, I'm gonna get it back. That's obvious. So choosing the words is really important. Using the word remission when at that particular moment, I reversed it. I think it sounds more positive, and that's what I like to use. And this is what I encourage everybody to say, that if you healed that anything at that particular moment, you have reversed. It's not remission. Placebo. I'm sure many of you know what placebo is. You give the fake pill, your mind believes that, it's the medicine and your body starts to feel better. That's placebo. Anybody knows what nocebo is? That's exactly opposite of placebo. It's a twin brother of nocebo. When we tell something negative about ourselves, the brain follow exactly the same pattern. If placebo is powerful, imagine how powerful is nocebo. If a medication without anything, any medication in them can heal you, can make you feel better, imagine what nocebo will do. I was speaking to one of my patients a few weeks ago, and it's a big from NHS is that to save life, everybody who's diabetic must take statin to reduce the risk of heart disease. Has you guys been offered statin?
I have had to change it now.
So it's a big jump from the NHS to offer statin. So I was speaking to that person, and the person said, medications don't agree with me. I even take paracetamol and I got side effect. That's nocebo. They already told themselves that no matter what I take, I will get side effect with it. So if placebo is so powerful, I'm not sure if you know or not, every medication when they come in the market, they are tested against a placebo, and many medications fail against placebo. Imagine that they're spending millions pound worth of money to create a new medication, and they test it against a placebo and it fails. That's the power of placebo. There was a study done by Harvard University in a hotel chain, big massive hotel chain. There were 84 maids. They were all overweight. They were constantly working 8-hour shift 5 days a week, constantly working, as you can imagine, maid 20 floors going up and down, changing heavy sheets, cleaning, washing, doing hoovering, everything, but they were still overweight. So what they done in that study, they told 50% of the maid, that is 42 of maids, they told them that your work, what you do, is easily qualified as a moderate intensity workout. Nothing else, nothing has changed. They just told them that what you do is classified as moderate intensity exercise. Within a month, the people who were told 42 maids, just within a month, without changing anything, they noticed improved metabolism, weight loss, better body composition, and better hip to waist ratio. That's just by telling them that your job work activities classify as a moderate intensity exercise. Nothing else changed. And that's the example I was telling you about. I even look at food and gain weight. That's one of my clients who was, mentioning it to me. Many people have said that. No matter what I eat, I just don't gain weight. I have personally heard from people who saying that I can eat anything and I wouldn't gain weight. And same way, many people say, I even look at food and gain weight. And it's true. People who believe they will gain weight, they actually gain weight. People who believe they will get diabetes, they get diabetes. People who live in the fear of diabetic complications, it's going to affect my eyesight, it's going to affect my kidneys. Your body follows that. So it's really, really important to believe healing is possible. Once you believe healing is possible, your body will make it happen for you. Because as I said, body is designed to heal. Body wants to heal. That's the only thing body wants to do, to heal. What doesn't work? That's really, really, when I combine everything about myself, this is what I came up with. Blindly cutting carbs. Not all carbs are bad. Our body needs carb. We cannot live without carbs. Many people say, I'm going to go on keto diet. Yes, it's good for you, but not for long term. It's not sustainable. Excessive fat or protein, again, it's not good for your body. You're going to produce more protein. You're going to, again, put pressure on your kidneys. So you have to have a healthy, balanced diet. What is bad? What is bad? If you're going to eat white rice or white pasta alone, that's bad for diabetic person. For normal person, it may not be, but for diabetic person, it's bad. But if you combine that with healthy fat, healthy protein, or healthy fiber, that's a good, you can eat as much as you want, but make sure you put, it's called sponge effect. So you feed your body carbs at the last. You can have anything you want. You can even have a piece of cake if you like, but make sure not the first, exactly the last. So give your body carbs first, protein first, fat first, then you give yourself carb. Relying on medications alone, as I mentioned, medications normally mask the symptoms. They don't treat the problem, which is insulin resistance. So working only on diet, you only gonna get more and more added up. Diabetic medication. There are more than 50 different medications to try. One doesn't work, or combine them all together. Still, the root, if the problem is still there, what happens is blood pressure medication. Then we give lisinopril or ramipril to protect your kidneys. Then we give blood pressure, obviously, as mentioned, blood pressure medication, cholesterol medications. So we need to just target the root of the problem, which is insulin resistance. Diet plans that change every month. That's very interesting. It's interesting because if somebody goes to gym or an exercise for a full month and still don't see no muscle growth, it doesn't mean that gym don't work. You haven't given your body sufficient time. Your body loves stability. Your body loves security. If you're going to give 1 month keto diet, 1 month slimming world, 1 month something else, the body gets confused. Body don't like confusion. Our body likes stability, persistence, security. So if you change every single month, it confuses body. And we don't want confusion. And the last one is trying to do it all without support. I love this quote. I don't know who said it. It says, if you wanna go fast, go alone. If you wanna go far, go together. So when people try to do it all alone, it's tiring. Any healing journey, and hence why you're all together. Hopefully, you know each other. And if all of you follow one particular thing, you wanna heal yourself, I'm pretty sure it's more success, because motivation comes like waves. One day high, other day I can't be bothered. It's too cold. I'm too tired. But discipline. And where does discipline come for? From our peer group, the people who we surround ourselves with. When I started doing my healing, I received comments. Oh, well, one piece of cake wouldn't harm you. But if I had somebody else to tell me that, no, everything matters. You need persistence. That's why you need your own tribe to help you heal, not to criticize you on your journey. Because we want to fix the soil, not just mask the symptoms. We want to grow our beautiful body, beautiful flowers. That's a real case study, and I'll show you why it's so important. So that it's clearly not visible here because the screen said it's 1st of June this year. So 4 weeks ago, HbA1c 11.8%, 292 milligrams. These numbers may not mean anything because these are different units. So I compared it with British standards, which is 105 millimole per mole. Any of you, can I ask, has this or above this HbA1c? Mine was 61.
No, I have in the past, but not.
No, now. So you know the severity of this number, 105. Yeah. So that's how it was on 1st of June. Just within 3 weeks of following what I suggested, which includes what I've just mentioned, don't eat your carb first. Carb must be at the end. Second one is give your body a break, intermittent fasting. And I promise you, it's not a trendy word. It's science-backed thing. It gives your body to reduce insulin resistance and more sensitive. So what happens when you give your body 12 to 14 hours? There is no insulin left. There is no extra glucose. So your pancreas is only going to produce what it needs. And over time, all your cells become more sensitive. So you don't have to go extreme 14, 16 hours. 12 hours is more than sufficient in the beginning, like I do. And that I'm guilty of that. Before I used to have last meal 7, 8 o'clock. But now my last meal, the latest I do is 6 p.m. in the evening. Nothing goes in my body after 6 p.m. except water. And then my next meal is 8 a.m. in the morning. So I've got 14 hours intermittent fasting, and I was doing it without even realizing it, what are the scientific benefits of it. Now I do. So these are the two things that the lady did. She's 67, and these are the results. So these are the screenshot. So 132 on 132 on 14th of June, and then today 123. That's within 4 weeks. Zero medication from 105 HbA1c. Nothing changed. Just no medication, no supplement, literally nothing. Just purely the way the meals were organized. That's the power of healthy lifestyle. And I'll show you scientific evidence behind the comparison between the medication. The most common is metformin. Any of you take metformin? Most of you, I think it's the first line treatment for diabetes. Unless somebody has severe kidney issues, then they start something else. But metformin is the first line treatment. So Dayton, this, by the way, this study is from, you can't clearly see, it's National Institute of Health. It's a government body who look after all the scientific studies. So what they discovered was this: the lifestyle intervention reduced the incidence of diabetes by 58% and metformin by 31%. That means the lifestyle intervention was significantly more effective than metformin. How crazy is that? Almost double just by making lifestyle changes. 58% reduction compared to metformin, which is 31%. And that's by National Institute of Health. The conclusion was lifestyle changes and treatment with metformin both reduce the incidence of diabetes in person at high risk. That's compared to placebo. So metformin is better than placebo. Lifestyle is even better than metformin. The lifestyle intervention was more effective than metformin. Imagine this. What we eat, how we eat matters more than the medication. And they spend billions of pounds literally on medications when the disease is a metabolic disorder. If you can fix the disorder, if you can bring the order back, because that's the problem, when we want to treat not just diabetes, any medical condition, blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, any medical condition, if you're only going to treat physical body, but if you feel mentally, emotionally, and spiritually broken, that healing will never be truly healing. Even World Health Organization says that the true health is a complete physical, mental, and emotional well-being. If any of these three pillars compromise, the health is compromised. Physically, you may feel healthy. How about mental health and emotional health? When diabetes, if you look at the scientific studies, 37% of diabetes are caused or aggravated by stress. Same as blood pressure. I don't know about if you check or not, but clearly notice the difference when I'm happy and calm, my sugar level, and even, I haven't eaten anything and I'm stressed, my sugar will spiked up in the morning. It will be high. And that's stress does to your body. And that's what I believe in true healing, holistic healing, is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, to target all four pillars for us to live a healthy life. And that's what body craves, healing. If we give our body the healing environment, it will heal itself. Any disease can be reversed. I've seen many people, many studies, just by believing in power of mindset and believing that healing is possible, Parkinson's symptoms have been reversed. Can you imagine Parkinson's symptom? That's a neuro disease. They have been even reversed just by, healthy lifestyle. We are lucky. NHS is amazing. NHS is free, especially for diabetics. Medications are free. But what's the cost of emotional and mental health and the complications? This is the last email I've got from Roche. They said people with type 2 diabetics are twice as likely to develop heart failure. What's the cost of that? Medications definitely reduce the sugar alone. But if we don't feel the problem, the root of the problem, which is the resistance, complications can be inevitable in some cases. My dad is the prime example. We were giving as many drugs as possible to him. Literally, you name the drugs, he had all of the drugs. Still got eyesight affected. Still had heart attack and kidney failure. This is the cost of diabetes. Now, when I combine all this, what my research, everything I put all together, I named it as spirit. As you saw in the beginning, I have a Facebook page, Spirituality, because I believe you may have heard this famous quote that your body don't have a soul, your soul has a body, and we change that. So we spiritually heal that, and in that I combine science, what I studied through my clinical diplomas, my pharmacy degrees, and combined through my own spiritual healing. I combined all that and I named it a spirit method, where we come work on subconscious reprogramming. As I mentioned, what we believe we become. You cannot fix a body if the mind still believes it's broken. No matter how many medications you take, no matter how many diet plan you change. If the mind believes it's broken, you cannot heal it. So that's where we work on. We use lots of hypnotherapy techniques here, lots of guided meditation, lots of EFT techniques as well, where we train your body to feel calm, basically to make your body what it's supposed to do. Not need to change any medication, don't need to change any, cut down on any meals or anything, nothing at all. Just by giving your body space to heal, nothing at all. Then we have physical healing. That's where we bring all the science together. That's pure science backed. Intermittent fasting, what to eat, how to eat, the best time to eat, best way to combine the meals. And again, you don't need to be any specific diet. Every diet, you can mix it all together. And that's what the physical healing chapter is about. And then third is intentional mindfulness. Again, mindfulness is not a trendy word. It's a real science-backed technique. Harvard University have a special master degree in mindfulness now. They teach people how to be mindful, and their therapists use a mindfulness technique. And intentional mindfulness, what we do is we intentionally bring your awareness here. It's like mindfulness is just a word if you don't practice it. That there is a difference between the word swimming and actual swimming. And the next is root cause education. Find the problem. Why did somebody have diabetes at first place? Is it because of genetics or is it because of the poor lifestyle? So we dig deeper into that and we just target the problem. Then we have inner belief work, lots of techniques there, about 100 of different techniques here. We work on the belief system. And then the transformation energy work. Einstein says, we are all energy. There isn't any, we just not body and flesh. It's just pure energy. Some people have positive energy. Some people have negative energy. Some people you come across automatically just feel disconnected. Oh, I don't feel all right. So we work on energy techniques here. So it's a complete 12 weeks program, and it's very blurry here. So these are the 12, every single week we work on scientific facts, studies, and advanced strategies. For example, if somebody have a plateau, how to work on that. If somebody is struggling, building your healing circle, advanced strategies, where we cover the alignment of stress, how to feel calm. Majority of people with diabetes have emotional irregulations because again, insulin is a growth hormone. It's a type of growth hormone. Your body automatically feel dysregulated if your insulin isn't balanced. So we work on that. When I have low blood sugar, well, when I had low blood sugar, I used to automatically feel very emotional, felt like I'm gonna cry. That's what blood sugar, low blood sugar does. And same happens when you have high blood sugar, constant headache, constant exhaustion, constant inflammation in your body. So we work on that, how to bring the layers back. Now, there are I think about 20 different type of books available on the internet, and I've read few of them. All they do is just cover the scientific facts, what to do, how to do, and all that. But none of them actually combine the holistic methods. Any of you can reverse the diabetes, but emotional health, mental health, how are we gonna deal with them? So that's where we cover every single 6 pillars, treat all 4 holistic healths, which is physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. If any of this, what I said, inspires you, my journey, or, if any of you interested in healing yourself, I just want you to know that you're not broken, you are powerful. Your body can heal because it's designed to heal. All you need to do is give the right space and a right environment for your body to heal. So this is it, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for believing healing is possible. Thank you. Do you want to say? Yeah? Now he wants to tell you something as well. Come on then. Say it. Say it. Anything with and vegetables. Yeah. And what else? Take a deep breath. How do you take the deep breath? That's it. That's it. That's how we heal. Take a deep breath. Thank you. Thank you.